People that work or have worked in bikini waxing salons, what is the worst/disturbing experience you have come across while giving someone a bikini wax? NSFW. Someone had come in after some personal time with their partner. Obviously there was no condom used or no cleanup after because my waxing bed got cream peed. The worst thing I've had to experience. And I'm now in nursing. I used to be an esthetician and I'll never forget the first Brazilian I ever gave a girl. I was inexperienced, so to get the butt area I made her go on all fours. After I powdered up her butt, I was holding her cheeks open and closely examining the direction of her hair growth so I'd know which direction to spread the wax. As I was trained to do. Then all of a sudden I see her butthole opening and closing and opening and closing, and then bam. She fully farted in my face. She was super embarrassed and said it was an air bubble. Didn't smell like one though. Briefly worked as a waxer after I graduated from cosmetology school. Quit after this dude kept coming in with larger and larger anal beads in his ass. Esthetician here. My worst experience was a full Brazilian wax on an extremely obese woman. I was relatively new to the field and lacked the experience to deal with this type of situation. I couldn't get the angles right. I felt so awkward asking her to hold her stomach that blanketed over her vagina, and her legs were just too large for me to actually reach the area. She was unable to bend the legs properly. I think at one point I lost wax between a fold and had to pry the skin/hair apart to apply the strip. I remember my back hurting from the way my body was positioned. Frantically trying to finish on time for my next client. And so much sweat. Both of us. It was the dead middle of summer. I'm sure a seasoned esthetician may have been able to handle this better. But that's my worst experience. I currently work at a waxing center and I have had many foul experiences. I love my job, but sometimes I wonder why I still do this. A new client had come in for a full Brazilian. She was no older than 17, and it was her first time doing it. I was trying to make her as comfortable as possible and explain everything I was doing. So we finish the front and I tell her to flip over and hold her butt cheeks so I can do the butt strip. I apply the wax over her butthole. I guess she wasn't expecting it because she farted and blew a bubble with the wax. It popped so loudly that it echoed in the room. I had never seen anything happen like that before. I could see she was humiliated and I was embarrassed for her. I immediately turned around and started fumbling with anything I could get my hands on to pretend I didn't just see what happened. I never saw that girl again. I have a story from a client of mine about a previous coworker. So I have this client coming in for a Brazilian. As soon as we are in the room she warns me that last time she was in, she didn't like her last experience and let me know that she has her clit pierced. I was like, cool, no probs. Thanks for the heads up. Let's try to make this better. I figured she lifted or bruised. So we get started. And there's the piercing. No biggie. Well, halfway through, she starts talking. And I was like, I hope this has been a better experience for you. I wouldn't want a repeat of last time. And she explains that it wasn't the waxing. It was the waxer. Apparently, when she explained her piercing to the previous esthetician, she pulled the towel back and patted the pierced clit without gloves, saying how she has never seen one of these before. Under no circumstance are you to directly touch a client there. The woman was not impressed and refused to return until she was sure the previous esthetician was no longer employed. So it's not really my experience. I just felt bad for my client. Oh, I have a story. I'm not a waxer, but one time I was getting waxed at a new place and thought things were going just fine. I was making small talk with the esthetician while all spread eagled on the table. She was facing away getting her supplies ready and she started sniffling and I thought she might be crying. I was like, okay, I know it's been a while, but I can't be that shocking. And I asked, hey, are you okay? And she turned around just full on ugly snot crying and explained to me that the appointment before mine was her recent ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. Bulging hemorrhoids. I never knew two words that could sound so ducked up before. Thanks for that mental image. Edit. Oh no. What have I done? My roomie had one today and said the lady doing hers went see that pillow in the corner. We used to have it over here for y'all to clutch onto for comfort until a lady started hitting me with it. Now it stays in the corner. Apostrophe. It's still kind of for comfort. If she comforts you with that story before she rips a handful of hair out of your gooch. A worm fell out of someone's butthole when I was waxing it. A tiny, little maggot-like looking worm. Not me or disturbing, but my instructor in cosmetology school told me about a time when they had to practice anal waxing, and the way she was supposed to do it involved her putting talcum powder on the butthole area. So she powders the person up, and as she's grabbing something else from her work table, the person lets out an airy toot and a little fluff cloud of powder came with it. She couldn't contain herself and had to do the assignment another day, haha. Sperm bubbles. Women didn't always wash up after sex and they'd come in for a wax. Sometimes the semen would form a bubble while you were waxing, and then it would pop and leave you with an awful rancid sperm smell. How many guy clients come in to get waxed? Asking for a friend. My waxier lady and I talk about this all the time. She said girls come in on their periods all the time. She doesn't mind as long as there's a tampon in place and it's clean. Some ladies don't comply. She's seen women who haven't properly wiped their BH after taking a dump. But the weirdest thing she saw was a girl who was born without an asshole. I don't know who /why/how/what/where, but yeah. That's weird. Unfortunate. Mostly. Edit. To clarify. BH means butthole. I'm not censoring. I've just gotten in the habit of sometimes calling it that because I think it's funny. My buddy was born without a butthole. They ripped him new one shortly after he was born. The best part, I kid you not, he has the ability to suck air and water into his butt and expel it again. I never went to the pool with him again after that. I'm just picturing some dude propelling himself through the water through butthole power. Esthetician student here. I plan on going into Brazilian/Manzilian/bikini waxing and full body after graduation. The number of people who come in during their monthly cycle only wearing a pad? Question mark? Come on now. Can I ask what makes you want to go into those areas? I have always been curious as to what attracts people to body waxing as a career. It sounds weird, but my own personal self-esteem issues. When I was about 14, I had to start getting my upper lip waxed. Mind you, I'm very fair-skinned, strawberry blondish hair. It was noticeable. Kids made fun of it, but I didn't do it for them. I just always felt better after an eyebrow and lip wax. When I was 18, I went in for an eyebrow wax and the lady just kept going on and on about these little black chin hairs. It made me feel like crap. I started getting Brazilian waxes in my mid-20s. Always just felt Essex, yeah. To put this in perspective, I'm currently a 34-year woman. I'm on the heavier side, fluffy, and my hair has been frizzy my whole life. I struggle with adult acne, so when I say I feel better after a wax, I really do. It's something I can control. I want to make other women feel good about themselves in that matter. Edit. Thank you. Thank you for the gold. My first one. That's what you're supposed to say, right? But it really is my first one. Edit 2. I've had a few people message me asking what I look like. I'm sure I paint myself in a less favorable light. Link. com/LKNPQC0 obligatory getting waxed picture. Link. com/9xkbo edit 3. I've had a ton of messages with concern about PCOS. I do appreciate the concern. I had it checked out when I was 20 and was told that wasn't the case. However, it's 14 years later and I've been seeing a Nugent for the past 7 years and I actually have an appointment with her the 26th. I'll definitely ask about it. A few messaged that my obesity concerned them. I'm 5 feet 10 and 175. Overweight, but not obese. I've had a few Brazilians done, and I asked my waxer what her worst experiences were, and she said there are so many people who come straight from the gym or their afternoon jog, or their strenuous workplace without showering or anything. How can you have that little self-awareness? Reading that smelled bad. I had to put my sandwich down for this thread. My friend is esthetician. She has sent ladies to the gym for growths, aromas, etc. She says it's about once a month that she has to have that awkward talk with a client. The worst one she ever told me about was a sweet older lady with a labial abscess. Poor woman. It must have hurt like hell. She had it treated and came back to say thank you. Not a waxer, but a spray tanner. For well-endowed women of the bust or, but the policy is arms overhead or turn around and bend over. Only if absolutely necessary do you lift with the back of the hand and spray underneath. On this lovely day I had a particularly hefty woman come in, and she don't want no tan lines. It was time for turn around and bend over, lift the butt, and what looked like a week-old sopping brown tampon comes slurping out, bounces off the back of my hand and splats on the floor. How did you sleep that night? Curled up in the shower. I always feel so self-conscious before going for a bikini wax, and I always tell myself they've seen worse. Thanks for confirming that. Used to work with a girl whose second job was as a waxer. She would regale us with stories of this one repeat client who would get holiday themed designs. So not only would she create Christmas trees and Valentine's hearts for her, but would also have to dye them the appropriate color. I got a full Brazilian as a dude. Female esthetician works on me. My GF is waiting in the lobby. After she's about halfway through the front she asks if she can ask a slightly unprofessional question. I say sure. She says she's never seen a circumcised penis before, but didn't ask me any actual question. Just made the comment. The worst part was that the walls were thin so pretty much the whole lobby heard the conversation. I think the toughest thing I've ever seen through as a waxer was a minor getting a Brazilian, yes her parent knew, and signed a consent form, who didn't clean herself properly, looked like she had diarrhea, and wiped back to front, with super thick hair, and I got stuck pulling a labia strip. It was my fault. I didn't cleanse and poke around thoroughly enough before I started. But I almost went to go get a Kawaka BC. I thought I was going to need help pulling it off. Client was a champ though. Bore with me throughout the whole process. Definitely the toughest experience I've had. Even beyond the 400+ ladies I see. I've been a body waxer for 5 years now. And we are a special breed. It's almost like nursing when it comes to putting on the professional face when we are confronted with something gross. But TBH. It's really not that bad of a profession. Smells yes. Some excretions yes. Blood yes. Even poop sometimes yes. But you're there to do a job. And if you're good enough at it, you push through it. These people are opening up an incredibly vulnerable part of their body to a complete stranger. The last thing I want to do is scar them for life by making a face or a rude comment. So shake some extra powder on there and keep laying those strips. It'll be over soon enough. Edit. Wow. Thanks for the gold. I'm so honored, and thank you for all the positive comments too. I really do enjoy my job and I appreciate the love. I'm here to spread positivity for an area that has historically been reviled and treated terribly, and is only now experiencing a removal of the stigma. I once was the growth customer by pure accident. My former girlfriend liked the idea of shaving your chest, etc. The less hair I got on my body the better. Blah blah blah, insert story here. I did bleed so heavily out of every damn pore on my chest that the lady stopped mid-session. After the bleeding had stopped somewhat, I helped cleaning up, paid and left. The bruises were visible for several weeks. I did never try waxing again. Not a waxer but a client. Waxer asked what I was doing on my phone and I informed her that I could hit 2 Pokestops at the salon. I lured one while getting waxed because why not? One thing led to another, and she started singing the Jigglypuff song as she waxed my butthole. I'm bummed she left. Edit. My tip-top rated comments are now about my butthole and snowballing. I'm concerned what this says about me. Like this video and this good boy will be your mailman forever. We are Redditation. and we redditate every day. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a wonderful day you magnificent people.